Hello, today we're going to discuss the starter files and how you get the starter files or the templates into your programs. So here I'm in Blackboard and we have a StarterFiles.zip file. This is an archive file. All that means is the files within this zip file have been compressed. If I click this file, I can download it. I am just going to open with Windows Explorer. The various browsers download files a little bit differently. I'm using the Firefox browser. So I'm going to click the little arrow in the top right hand of the screen to get access to the downloaded files. I will then click the folder icon on the right side to expose my starter files. And this tells me where the files have been located. It's been located in a temp directory. With a zip file, you will want to extract those files that are in the zip file. We have 6 subdirectories for the 6 homeworks. I am going to extract these files. See, we have an extract all button up here. I'm going to extract all, and you want to specify the destination directory. I'm going to put these on my K drive, and I'm going to make a new folder. So I'm going to click New Folder and call this Starter Files. So I'm going to download all my starter files in a directory on my K drive called Starter Files, and press the extract button. Now this is still my temp location. I'm going to close this window, and here are my starter files. These are now uncompressed. You can see in homework 1 there's hello.cpp. Homework 4 has a few files in it. I'm going to go over how to get these files into my Visual Studio program. So I put the file manager on the right side of the screen, and I put Visual Studio on the left side of the screen. Whenever you create a new project, you will click File, New Project. I'm just going to call this a temporary project. And I want to create a Win32 console app. Press OK, press Next, clear these 2 check marks, click Empty Project. Now I have a completely empty project. If I can click Solution Explorer, you can see there's nothing in here. So what we want to do first is create a main program and copy the contents of this main.cpp into that main program. So I'm going to click Source Files, Add New Item. I'm going to click C++ file, and I'm going to call it the same name as in the starter files. So I'm just going to call this main. And you don't have to type in .cpp, that'll be added for you. Now I have main.cpp. If we look over in Solution Explorer, it is now part of the project. I'm going to double click this main.cpp. This main.cpp I have here, which you can see is in my starter file directory, is not part of the project. So the project does not know about this file. All I'm doing is opening this file so I can copy the contents of it into the main.cpp file, which is known by the project. So I select everything in main.cpp. I click copy. Now, just for my benefit, I'm going to close this so I do not get confused. And now I'm going to paste it in here. And I'm going to hit Control S, which saves. Just notice the star was taken away. Now, my main.cpp file associated with the project is now filled with data. Notice I have a red squiggly here. It's saying I can't find this file, basically. That's because I haven't created it yet. So if I go back to Solution Explorer and I add a class, because part.h and part.cpp is a class. We will get into classes later on in the semester, but I just want to go over how to create classes in Visual Studio right now. If you click class, we see C++ class. We want to highlight that, click add. Now, our class name is the same class as we see over here, part.h and part.cpp. These come in pairs. Classes will always come in pairs. We have a header file and a CPP file. So let's call this part. And notice our H file is created for us and our CPP file is created for us. Click Finish. And we see we have part.cpp in our source files. And in our header files, we have part.h. We have some code that was automatically put in here. Let's click Control A and delete. I do not need the code that is in there because I'm going to copy the code that is in my starter files into the files that are located in the project. All I did was press Control A, press delete. Now I'm going to open part.h. I just double clicked. I'm going to Control A, Control C. Now that copied part.h. So I'm going to close this window. I'm going to paste it here. And again, I'm going to hit Control S. Now I'm going to do the same thing with part.cpp. Control A, Control C. I'm going to close the tab. I'm going to paste it here. Control S, I'm saving. Now I have my main program, my part.cpp, and my part.h. And they are all in the project that I called temporary, as I see right here. Now I can modify the code here in my starter file that will make this project work and produce output. Now I just want to show you where my files in the project are compared to where they are in the starter files. So if you see here, they are in projects temporary part.cpp. So if I right click this and click open containing folder, we see I have a projects directory and I have 3 different projects in this directory, and temporary is the project I'm working on. If I double click this and click temporary again, you can see I have part.h, part.cpp, and main.cpp. these are no longer associated with the part and the main.cpp over in my starter files directory. So we can effectively delete the files over here in homework 4. So if I press the delete key, I know I've copied those files over into my project. This concludes the video on getting starter files into my Visual Studio project.